Leon and Meri's tug-of-war? A fresh take on the old drama.
Diving back into the saga, I've stumbled upon a spicy take that might ruffle some feathers. Leon's attitude towards Meri post-Catfish fiasco has me scratching my head. Sure, Meri's entanglement in the whole mess is eyebrow-raising, but Leon's stone-cold silence? That's a head-scratcher. All Meri was after was a heart-to-heart, a chance to mend fences, yet Leon was as movable as a mountain.
It's possible Leon was navigating their own journey of self-discovery, especially with their coming out. But did it have to border on the frigid? Meri was practically begging for a smidgen of understanding, yet Leon was having none of it. It's a puzzler, right? Thoughts on this frosty standoff?
Meri's journey is like a sitcom plot twist, where she's just hunting for some love and attention. She's just trying to fill up her empty love tank after Leon hits the road. Picture Meri wandering around with a will cuddle for companionship sign? That's what her life has sadly become. It's a true sad picture of tragedy, rejection, betrayal, and unrequited love.
On the flip side, Leon's looking at the whole thing like a dramatic soap opera cliffhanger, thinking Mom went off script, and almost brought down the family empire without even letting her defend her case in the court of family opinion.
Very true. It is almost like a tangled web of sitcom scenarios and soap opera sagas, all mashed into one big family drama. Feelings, misunderstandings, and maybe a misplaced pie in the face for comedic relief?
I wish that with a dash of maturity and the unfolding saga of Meri's roller coaster relationship with Cody, Leon would don a pair of grayscale glasses. The whole drama isn't as cut and dry as they might have pegged it initially. Meri was left on an emotional desert island by Cody.
In the same breath, I also want to acknowledge that kids aren't backup buddies for their parents' empty social calendars. They're not here to plug the emotional gaps we've dug, stumbled into, or just plain ignored. Leon's duty to Meri doesn't extend beyond the usual parent-kid dynamics. However, Meri did have a duty to acknowledge and honor Leon's boundaries when it came to the mess she stirred up.
I can see Leon's frustration that justifies Leon being absolutely ticked off because their mom wouldn't own up to having an emotional fling. Instead, she played up her role as the damsel in distress.
Absolutely. Leon was ticked off because their mom wouldn't own up to having an emotional fling. Instead, she played up her role as the damsel in distress.
Having been in the role of both a parent and child myself, through my journey of life, I kinda wish Leon had cut Meri some slack. But then, wearing my kid hat, I've been known to withhold chances from my own folks too. It's a tangled web for sure.
From the lens of a child, there were moments with my parents that felt beyond redemption. Yet, through the eyes of a parent, I see my children as individuals with no debts to me, while my debts to them are immeasurable. Thankfully, my bond with my mini-me's is top-notch, perhaps a perk of the digital age, with its treasure trove of parenting wisdom, psychological insights, and child development breakthroughs readily at hand.
That's so true. This access has shaped my approach to avoid the traps my parents fell into, thanks to their era's digital drought.
I agree. Chatting with my kids nearly every day, I reckon we're on splendid terms. But does that make me some kind of parenting guru while casting others in the shadow of inadequacy? Hardly. The tapestry of life, with all its intricate weaves of relationships, isn't black and white. I don't label my folks as beyond redemption. After all, forgiveness is a personal power-up, not a mandatory quest. Nor do I perch myself on a pedestal of parental perfection.
Yup, we took a different route, but let's not forget the cocktail of circumstances and a pinch of luck that flavored our journey.
And might I add, we could brag about a flawless bond with our offspring, but who knows, they might be spilling a different story on a therapist's couch 2 decades from now. On the other hand, my chats with my mom cover everything under the sun, without any strings attached. Yet, let's be real, the Perfect Parents Award is a myth. Here's to hoping all of our little ones and grown ones sprinkle a generous dose of understanding our way.
Coming back to sister wives, their relationships are truly a tangled web. Time's passed, and it seems Leon's view of Cody has evolved, recognizing the sticky web of issues at play. Back in the day, Leon reacted in the only way they knew how. Yet now, with a career steeped in social work, they've honed a keen eye for the subtle shades between black and white.
Had Meri opted for a heart-to-heart with Leon minus the glaring lens of a camera, she might have struck a chord. Leon had already given Meri the heads-up about the fishy friend being a catfish and voiced their unease. Now, after being brushed off, they're expected to spill their feelings for family profit? Hard pass.
Looking back at the Catfish saga, from Leon's vantage point, It must be maddening to have warned Meri about the deceit, only to be ignored, and then watch as Meri attempts to twist the narrative, claiming it was merely a platonic exchange. Meri's habit of dragging new catfish victims into the mix, presenting them to Leon, likely only added fuel to the fire. A simple admission and moving forward would have sufficed.
Meri's got that vibe strikingly similar to my own mother, where she gets stuck on a problem and her quest for closure turns into a never-ending loop of the same conversation, 82 times over, without ever really hearing anyone else. I'm roped into this cycle of nodding along, offering comfort and reassurances that she's blameless. It's a marathon of patience. Unlike her, I prefer to mull things over, chat about it once, consider feedback, and then march on.
Just think about how we, as viewers, grew weary of the saga. Now, picture being in the thick of it, day in and day out, for months. The thought alone is enough to wear anyone out.
Flip that scenario on its head, where the chat your mom can't let go of involves her swapping pics of bananas with someone who definitely isn't your dad. In one episode, Leon drops a truth bomb on Cody, confessing they caught wind of conversations that made their skin crawl. Imagine being in Leon's shoes. That's a rough ride for any kid. And Meri? She just couldn't put a lid on it.
Eventually, after months and months of such experiences, you just tune out because the one unloading on you is doing neither listening nor pondering. It's like being on the receiving end of their angst avalanche for the umpteenth time. No wonder Leon probably zoned out after a bit. Totally can't fault them. That's just survival instincts kicking in.
The Catfish saga turned into a running gag at my place due to its endless mentions. When you binge watch, it's relentless, no ads for a breather, just TLC hitting rewind on the same clips ad infinitum. It reached a stage where my son ditched calling her Meri, opting for Catfish instead. To be fair, he struggles to recall any of their names aside from Cody and Robin.
Let's not forget, Leon had front row seats to the drama as it unfolded. They weren't just a bystander. They were in the thick of it, trying to guide their mom out of a digital dalliance. Witnessing Meri dive headlong into an online entanglement, despite knowing better, must have been a bitter pill for Leon. Their frustration and craving for distance probably stem from being thrust into a grown-up quandary by a parent's lapse in judgment.
It's a whole different level of betrayal to involve your kid in the aftermath of an affair. Leon's stance was clear. They weren't buying into the innocent victim act Meri was selling.
When a parent wanders off the matrimonial path, it hits hard. It almost feels as if they weighed the odds of losing daily FaceTime with you and shrugged it off. For someone who's pretty much flying solo as the only kiddo, the fear of being edged out of the family picture entirely is real.
To top it all, Leon's take was that Meri was all gung-ho about introducing them to this mysterious chat buddy against Leon's better judgment. Leon's spidey senses were tingling, signaling red flags about this not-so-knightly figure, but Meri wasn't having any of it. Then when things hit the fan, Meri played the blame game with everyone but herself. Leon, needing a breather from the drama, chose to step back and mull things over solo.
Agreed. Meri seemed hell-bent on selling her version of the story to Leon, aiming for a nod of agreement that never came. Leon, on the other hand, wasn't about to buy what Meri was selling. Instead of owning up to an emotional escapade, Meri donned the cloak of the wronged party, denying any wrongdoing. Leon, clear-eyed, recognized the situation for the emotional tango it truly was, despite Meri's protests to the contrary.
After this, the majority of their recorded interactions revolved around Meri's Catfish saga, overshadowing Leon's own personal developments during that period. This disproportionate focus on Meri's virtual drama, at the expense of Leon's significant life events, explains Leon's earlier wish for Meri to expand family, perhaps to divert some of her main character behavior away from them. Like Cody, Meri often commandeered spotlight, positioning as the central figure in the shared narrative.
Dragging Leon into her personal romantic turmoil was a major misstep by Meri, especially given Leon's clear stance on wanting no part in the matter. Engaging in an emotional liaison outside her marriage to Cody, Leon's dad, was already a delicate situation. Leon, of all people, should have been spared the blow-by-blow accounts, not sought after for consolation or understanding.
Leon's decision to distance themselves from the ongoing drama was completely justified. And Meri's failure to acknowledge and honor Leon's boundary? Crossed lines. This affair was a chapter best left closed to Leon, a move that any considerate parent would have instinctively made to protect their child from the fallout of adult complications.
Meri's insistence on involving Leon in not just the affair, but also her struggles with infertility and marital dissatisfaction, dangerously crossed the lines into the territory of emotional incest. This behavior put Leon in an unfair position, much like the way Janelle and Christine inadvertently parentified Logan and Aspen. Meri's actions sought a level of emotional support from Leon that was far beyond what should be expected of any child. Meri and Leon found themselves in a family dynamic quagmire, navigating the murky waters of identity and belonging. After Meri handed over her legal wife badge, and with Leon being an only child to share the burden, the foundation of their familial unit started showing some serious wear and tear. Leon harbored a tempest of anger towards their mom, compounded by a hefty dose of embarrassment for the extra baggage of drama Meri unloaded onto their already teetering family branch. Leon appears to have a knack for holding on to resentment, and we can't forget that during the whole debacle, they were navigating the stormy seas of adolescence. With their mom's not-so-private trauma splashed across headlines, even if we get why Meri was fishing for some lost adoration from Cody, Leon was probably cringing and red-faced from the whole ordeal. It's no small feat to watch your mom's pedestal wobble and fall in your teenage years.
We have heard of Gwendolyn hinting at Meri being a mean parent, which got me thinking about Leon's comfort level in opening up to her. Coupled with the burden of feeling like an outsider and grappling with their identity in a not-so-open-minded household, Leon probably wrestled with a double dose of discomfort and the heavy cloak of shame for being trans amidst conservative surroundings.
Today, after all these years, it's heartwarming to see that they've managed to mend fences and grow closer again. They undoubtedly lean on each other, especially since Robin and Cody seem to give Leon the cold shoulder. That kind of familial rift would challenge anyone, pushing both Meri and Leon to find solace in their bond. That's all from us today. Talk to you all another time over another video. Peace out.